History of Davao City. Davao City is the biggest city in the Philippines in terms of land size, with 2,444 square kilometers. It is divided into 11 administrative districts and 3 congressional districts. Congressional District 2 is made up of the administrative districts of Agdao, Buangin, Bunawan, and Paquibato. District 1 is made up of the districts of Poblacion and Talomo. Toriel, Tugbo, Kalinan, Baguio, and Marilog are all included in District 3. Geographically speaking, Davao City is located in the southeast of Mindanao. The province of Agusan del Sur borders it on the north. The provinces of Davao del Norte and the Davao Gulf partially border it on the east. Davao del Sur borders it on the south, and the provinces of Bukidnon, North and South Cotabato, and the Sarangani province border it on the west. Southeast of Manila is around 946 aerial kilometers or 588 statute miles in the Davao City proper. As the financial hub of growth in Mindanao, the city serves as the major entrance point for Philip, for the Brunei, Darussalam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines East Asian growth area due to its strategic position and status as the administrative capital of the Davao region. During the pre-colonial era, the Tausug, Maguindanaon, Iranon, Kagan, Maranao, and Sama tribes formerly coexisted peacefully in the wide region surrounding Davao. During Davao's early years, the Lumad and Mora people were its primary residents. The three terms Dabo, Duao, and Davao are combined to form Davao, which is the name of the river that the three Bagobo subgroups, the Gabawa, Kuyangan, and Lobo, named for themselves. The river has developed into the main trading route in the area, bringing together Chinese and indigenous merchants. In the Spanish era, the colonization of Davao City by the Spaniards was similar to that of every other location in the country. But in the 16th century, they were only starting to investigate the Davao Gulf region. Despite the fact that the Spanish began exploring the Davao Gulf territory as early as the 16th century, the Spanish had little influence in the Davao region until 1844, when Narciso Claveria, the Spanish Governor-General of the Philippines, asked for the Spanish crown to colonize the Davao Gulf district, which included what is now Davao City. It was not until that year that the Davao Gulf region, which contains Davao City, was ordered to be colonized by Spanish Governor-General of the Philippines, Narciso Claveria. Don Jose Cruz de Iranguren, together with 70 other men and women, were natives of Vergara in Spain. In order for them to take the position, Oyanguren and his group intended to beat Datu Bago. Their ship was outmaneuvered when they passed through the Davao River Bend's small passage. 3 months later, the Tobago's troops assaulted them, sparking a skirmish as part of their ongoing plan to overthrow the Datu and bring the entire region under subjugation. A few weeks later, Don Manuel Quesada, Zamboanga's Navy general, came with an infantry unit and joined the assault on Datubago's town. Following Datubago's loss, the area was called Nueva Guipuzcoa. In 1848, the town of Nueva Vergara, now known as Davao, was established. He was appointed governor for the first time. Cruz de Ayangarin's order of Nueva Guipuzcoa was taken over by Marquis de Solana via Governor General Blanco's organization due to the dissatisfaction of people in Manila with his Davao expedition. There were 526 people living in Nueva Vergara at the time. Although there was some peace with the natives, the population eventually increased. There were 817 Christian inhabitants and converts listed in the 1855 register, including 137 who were excused from charges. The long-fought Philippine Revolution was coming to an end in 1898, and as it did, it became clear that the Spanish experts in Davao were leaving the area. This was true even though they had not participated in the conflict in any way, as there were no progressive leaders in the area other than a small amount of support for the rebel development of Filipino dissenters in the southern town of Santa Cruz. Pedro Layog and Jose M. Lerma, two Davaoeño locals, addressed the town and the surrounding region during the Malolos Congress of 1898, showcasing Davao as a part of the early First Philippine Republic, when the war was finally coming to an end and the Spanish experts finally departed the town. Spanish control in the area came to an end with the Spanish-American War in 1898. Americans established the area's transportation and communication networks. The number of privately owned farms in the area increased throughout this time. When two Japanese businessmen, Kyosaburo Ota and Yoshizo Furukawa, discovered better agricultural land for constructing abaca and coconut plantations in the area, Japanese migration in the area started. As soon as the Americans left Davao, organized Davao in 1900, vast swaths of its territory, like basically rich timberlands and abundant fields, were declared free for rural enterprise, creating financial opportunities. As a result, foreign investors, especially Japanese businessmen, started to move in the region. They were drawn to Davao's amazing landscapes and turned them into massive plantations, producing banana and coconut goods. Over a short time, Davao went from being a small, sparsely inhabited town to a bustling financial hub that mostly served the Davao Gulf sector. A significant number of pioneers and financial migrants from Luzon, Visayas, and Japan were living close to the locals. The present Davao region was formed in 1901 when the municipality of Davao was founded. Kichisaburo Ota, a Japanese businessman, took advantage of vast areas and turned them into plantations of abaca and coconuts. In 1903, the first group of Japanese plantation laborers came, founding Little Japan. They had a Shinto shrine, newspapers, an embassy, and even their own school. Large-scale abaca plantations were constructed in the vicinity of the Davao Gulf, along with considerable copra, wood, fishing, and import-export commerce. The Japanese taught the Filipinos how to cultivate, and the agricultural industry formed the backbone of the province's economic growth. Development was at its peak during the 1930s. At the same time, Senator Romualdo Quimpo of Davao filed Bill 609 on March 16, 1936, which became Commonwealth Act 51 and created the city of Davao from the town of Davao and Guianga district. This decision was made in response to the growing influence of Japanese economic influence in the region. The measure mandated that the president arrange for local authorities. In 1939, World War II has begun as early as September of that year, though it was not over until 1941 when Davao City was taken over by the Japanese. After the war ended in 1945, Davao regained its position as the financial and rural hub of Mindanao. Wood products such as timber and pressed wood, and more agricultural products made in the city, such as banana assortments and copra, were available for trade. 80% of the Japanese residents in the city before the war's conclusion assimilated with the Filipino population, while some were driven out of the country by Filipino residents due to late hostility. Following World War II's conclusion in 1945, Davao was peaceful and gradually became more reformist, especially in the 50s and the mid 60s. In Mindanao, ethnic tensions were negligible, and separatist groups were essentially non-existent. In 1967, three regions created out of the province of Davao: Davao del Norte, Davao del Sur, and Davao Oriental. Though it was not yet the capital, Davao became a major metropolis for Davao del Sur and the commercial hub of southern Mindanao. With its diverse population drawn from all over the Philippines by opportunities to prosper in the country's second biggest metropolis, Davao has become a melting point of ethnicities. In the 70s, Davao became the capital of Southern Mindanao Territory. After reorganization, it became the capital of the Davao region and a highly urbanized metropolis in the Davao del Sur area. Rodrigo Duterte was chosen as Davao City's acting vice mayor by President Corazon Aquino in 1986. By this point, martial law in the entirety of the Philippines has already passed since 1981. Subsequently, Duterte campaigned and was elected mayor of Davao City, holding the position from 1988 to 1998, from 2001 to 2010, and again from 2013 to 2016. During Duterte's presidential campaign in 2016 to 2022, his daughter Zimmerman Duterte ran for mayor of Davao City. After Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. became president in 2022, Sara was subsequently elected as vice president of the Philippines. Since June 30 of that year, her brother, Sebastian Bastia, became mayor of Davao City.